Headline from the New York Post: Unerasing Redskins history, one small defeat for America's woke Stalinism. Remember, the name Redskin was deemed to be offensive by some people. So let's figure out what's going on. Okay, so just a quick overview of what's happening. There's an NFL team here in the United States called the Washington Commanders. They were formerly known as the Washington Redskins for about 80 years. Then some activists decided that the word redskin was offensive because in the dictionary, redskin was defined as an offensive term.
It's a dictionary-defined offensive racial epithet. You shouldn't be using that to sell a national sports team to America or to the rest of the world.
He's referring to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary's definition of redskin, which says it's usually offensive.
So some polls were taken, and astonishingly, like 75% of the country was in favor of keeping the Washington Redskins name as the Redskins.
A poll this year showed 4 out of 5 Americans don't think the Redskins name should be changed. And there was one poll which asked Native Americans specifically about it, taken almost a decade ago. That survey showed 9 out of 10 Native Americans were not bothered by the name.
Now, you would think this wouldn't be an issue, right? 9 out of 10 Native Americans don't think it's an issue. But we live in a woke world, and the protest started.
Hundreds of people gathered to protest on Thursday night outside the Minneapolis Metrodome as the hometown Minnesota Vikings hosted the Washington Redskins. The protesters object to the nickname Redskins, calling it racist and disrespectful. The team's owner says the name won't be changed and calls it a badge of honor. A group of Native American students from Minneapolis disagrees.
Our ancestors, they were slaughtered, they were scalped, and we don't want to be remembered by that.
I find it disrespectful for Native Americans to be getting treated this way.
Saying that it's an honor for us, it's really not. It needs to be changed.
6 members of the Minneapolis City Council recently sent a letter to the team's owner and to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, calling the team nickname and mascot racist.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 Native Americans don't have a problem with the name. More than 75% of Americans are cool with the name. But again, it was like, hold on, we don't like the name, so it's racist. Like the 9 out of 10 Native Americans don't even think it's racist, but they think this is insano stuff. But now the logo of the Washington Redskins was deemed racist. But the people who were deeming it racist didn't realize that it was Native American tribes who came up with the whole concept. Here's how the logo for the Washington Redskins came into existence.
In 1971, Walter Blackie Wetzel, the Blackfeet tribal chairman and former president of the National Congress of American Indians, met with the Washington Redskins organization to urge the team to change the R logo on the helmet. With blessings from tribal leaders, Walter Blackie Wetzel brought photos from the Blackfeet Nation located in northwest Montana, and the image of Chief Two Guns Whitecalf was most admired. And the enduring Redskins logo was born, a logo based after a real person out of respect for the Native American community. Chief Two Guns also served as the model for the U.S. Indian head nickel minted in 1913. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Walter Blackie Wetzel's son, Lance Wetzel, and grandson, Ryan Wetzel. Walter Blackie Wetzel and the Blackfeet Nation will forever be a part of the Redskins family.
So they got the logo from the Council of American Indians with their blessing. And the logo was actually on a U.S. coin before. So how is this racist again? I just don't get it. But they're saying it's racist. The Council of Native American Indians are racist against Native American Indians. Again, this is insane. So, came racist no matter where it came from. These Indian tribes are racist against other Indian tribes. Okay. Then the story goes nuclear. The sitting president of the United States at that time, President Obama, made these remarks about the logo of Native Americans.
Native American groups feel they've got new momentum in their efforts to get rid of the name Redskins.
It's about the way our children are affected by the imagery of Washington's name and mascot.
Ray Halbritter and the Oneida Indian Nation are making a new push after President Obama's remark that if he were the owner of a team and its name offended a sizable group of people, quote, I'd think about changing it.
Then the Washington Washington Redskins started losing sponsorship deals. It became a whole tragedy. So then they just gave in and said, okay, we're going to change the damn name from Redskins.
We want to turn now to some major news out of the NFL. A source telling ESPN that Washington's NFL team retiring its controversial nickname. Rachel Scott joins us from Washington. Rachel, this has been a years-long and heated debate.
You're right about that, TJ. The team announcing this morning they are getting rid of both the name and the logo.
So what about the National Congress of American Indians, who literally blessed the name and logo and said, we would like you to use this, and it's pride for us.
With blessings from tribal leaders, Walter Blackie Wetzel brought photos from the Blackfeet Nation located in northwest Montana, and the image of Chief Two Guns Whitecalf was most admired.
That's just like all forgotten because somebody who's probably not even Native American deemed it to be racist. But the good people of Montana were like, hold on. This tribe, they're real people, and they had pride in that logo.
Because there's a great honor in the name Redskin, which if we go by what's been reported versus what's actually factual, it's very opposite ends of the spectrum. Term Redskin is not a derogatory term or a racist term. I'm not saying somebody couldn't say it in a derogatory term or in a racist way, but Redskin is actually the status symbol of an elite warrior. And it's actually a purification ceremony where braves on the warpath actually paint their skin red to go to battle. And it's actually extremely honorable. And it's a very, very, very deep ceremony that is very not only steeped in history, but it's a purification ceremony where you make a deal with the Almighty that you're ready to die in battle if you need to. It's not a black-white thing for us. It's about rescuing our culture and preserving our history and defeating the damage done by the cancel culture, which I think is misguided. However, part of me believes in my heart that a lot of people were acting in good faith. They just didn't have the full or the proper information. So they're trying to fight racism, and God bless them for that. But you can't fight racism by eradicating and erasing people's culture or a race of people.
I hear you.
And that's what's happening right now.
So this Native American tribe who had pride in the team being called the Redskins, who had pride in having one of their chiefs as the logo, who is being remembered throughout the country when they go play other teams, when they go play in Europe, right? That's what the woke virus erased. And these people are like, this is insane on stuff. This name, this logo was honoring our families, our heritage. This is how people knew this guy existed. And they just erased it because they felt it was racist when it wasn't racist to the people who they're trying to protect. Now, I have to mention the Washington Redskins organization went pretty thorough in trying to remove the name Redskin. So even in their prior games and back in their history books, they were essentially removing both the logo of the chief and the name Redskin from their history.
The NFL deliberately censored the logo on its official X account, as you can see here. They did this when honoring previous Super Bowl winners, and the Commanders are selling a shirt even today that does the same. You might ask what I mean by censoring the logo. Well, in the case of the NFL, they photoshopped graphics to cover up the logo on the team's helmet, as you can see here. This is John Riggins. It's a picture of one of the great legends of Washington, D.C. And in the case of a shirt that was honoring Darrell Green, the logo is completely removed from the helmet as if it were some sort of obscene image.
All right, so that brings us to the news of the day, is that the NFL's Washington Commanders, who were formerly the Washington Redskins, is unerasing that history, which you had just seen about them covering up logos and removing the word Redskin. They're going to place those things back into the archive because it just makes sense. And I think this is leading the team to reevaluate the name change from Redskins to Commanders. But my real question to you is, do you think Washington Commanders should just go back to the Washington Redskins? I am going to shock you. I think they should. I think when you now know the history of how the name developed, how the logo was designed, and the history, it just makes sense. Some idiots saw that and just wanted to endow it with racism when no one else really thought that. It's so crazy that 90% of Native Americans, when asked, said we don't have a problem with it. And the vast majority of people in America didn't have a problem with it. And this is what I think is indicative of that cancel culture, is that it's just a small group of people said we don't like something, and now you've essentially erased these people's history from, this is a tribe from Montana. But hey, again, I'm some right-wing lunatic, and people say that my opinions can sometimes be unreasonable. But I think in this particular case, if I was the Redskins ownership, I'd be going back to the Redskins like tomorrow. We're going to be called the Redskins. I don't care what anybody has to say about it. But again, tell me where we're in the comment section. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to like my YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.